I grew up in a very rural area in Southern Virginia. Um, and I grew up in the early 80s. I grew up in the 80s. During that time, tobacco was really the cash cow of the South. There was tobacco fields everywhere, especially where I grew up. So they would go and pick tobacco for 5 hours and come home with $120 cash for the day. And as enticing as that was, my parents refused to let us do it. And part of the reason was because they were only 2 generations off of sharecropping. So my grandmother actually sharecropped when she was growing up in the South. And I remember vividly having my father say, y'all will never work in the field like that. It was extremely taboo because we were so close to sharecropping and then even so close to slavery that many of the people in my parents' generation said their children will never do this. But what's challenging, what's tough about that is that many of the techniques that our people brought to this country are innately in us, and they're very much needed now. So when I find myself now, 30 years later, working as a farmer, as an urban farmer, in the ground, doing a lot of those things that the previous generation said no, we wouldn't do, I take pride in it. But what I also see is when people come out to the garden now, they're out here and they feel like they've been out here their whole lives. And I always tell them that is because the skills that it takes to grow your own is within you already. You don't even realize it until you start exercising those muscles. Gardening is for us. We all need to eat. These processed foods that we've been eating, the fast, convenient foods that we've been eating are only taking a toll on our people. So growing your own, it might seem hard, but it's in you and it'll come extremely naturally for you.